Today's episode, I'm going to drop you into a live coaching call where I help new students really unlock their understanding of Waterfall traditional predictive projects. So if you've ever struggled with predictive, if you've ever struggled with charters, business cases, and even matching questions, this call is for you. So enough talking, let's jump in, let's learn, you can do it.
I've just started the course, but I would think that Waterfall would be more of an organized, specific process, maybe more traditional, and then agile implies that you'd have to be kind of thinking on your feet with less maybe resources from a client or something like that.
Right. That's rightish. Don't go anywhere. And so is it more just like the hip young people use Agile and the old stodgy people use Waterfall, or what?
Probably not necessarily.
Concur. I concur. So what is there hey, we should open the Agile door versus the Waterfall door? Is there a logic that we might use to go through each path?
I think when I was very, very first looking at questions, there's probably some words that might trigger it going either way.
That's true. You're on the path. So if we're building stuff, regardless of what, that's all this is get something built, get something refined, built, whatever. We're just building something. We're creating a new tomorrow. So are there different things where you walk up on it? Say, you just open a big warehouse and they're like, hey, this is what we got to build. And you walk inside. Some of them you're like, yeah, bring the Agile team. And some of them, when you open the door, you're like, oh, bring the Waterfall team. Are there different things that we could build that will require one or the other?
I'm sure. I just need to learn what they are.
Yeah, I know. That's where we're going, dude. Come on. We're going together. Don't say I don't mean a Honda Civic versus a rocket ship, but maybe what kind of things would necessitate a waterfall or traditional or super detailed planned kind of approach? I only got so much fake coffee, meaning milk. So I don't want to run out, dude. Give me something, Corey.
Maybe a super detailed ask. Somebody who has more information, they're bringing more information to the table.
100%.
Okay.
So if we were building an app and it was a Roomba for your yard to pick up dog poop or whatever. Okay. That's a concept. It's kind of cool, whatever. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And the app, would we plan that out for the next 19 months of app features? Would that be smart?
Maybe not.
I don't deal in question marks, dude.
No.
So yes or no?
No.
Still sounds like a mild question mark.
No.
Okay, we're getting closer to an exclamation point. That's good. All right, yeah. Okay, so Hang, you're doing good. Anthony, if we were building the Roomba app for dog poop, whatever, is a predictive, super detailed approach the way to be gooder?
I would say yes.
Okay. What's the risk of we're building a new app for a new product that we think could work, and we're going to plan out everything that we're going to do for the next 19 months? What's the risk?
It couldn't work. Certain things don't work out the way that you want it to. There's delays, things change, ideas change. The goal of the project may adjust or change.
All those things and many more. You hit on it bing, bing, bing. So in those situations when it's a new idea, we've never done it before, we don't exactly know what we're doing, we have a general idea, we have to test it, the customer might change, the market might change, the whatever might change. We're dude, I don't want to bet all my money on a perfect plan. I've got to be more flexible, agile in my approach to planning and executing. And so all that means to go is instead of planning from here to here, we're going to say, hey, we have an idea that we're going to build something cool, but let's just plan right here and do that and then see if it works. Then plan right here and see if it works and then plan right here. So that's the concept of agile. Let's not bet all our bet on incomplete knowledge and hubris, if you will.
So iterations and
the iterations.
Yeah.
It's hey, what's the first thing we got to do? Well, let's build a prototype. Sweet. Even if, does that mean it has to work and be in the yard? Nah, maybe we even go shorter. Maybe we just build up mock-ups that people can look at of like the way the thing, okay, we could do that and learn. And then we go, oh, they hate this, they like this, let's learn. Let's learn, let's learn. I just got out of a sprint review literally like 8 minutes ago or whatever. And a lot of the ideas that my team had, we're building like a new way to store videos and do all these things. We had ideas there that weren't able to be come up with until we looked at the thing that they just built. Like, it just like, it's hard to do it. So that's like Agile's the right path and we're discovering things. Now, let me go to Stu. If we were building a bridge, like, or a building, do we want to discover our way into it? Or do we want to have that thing nailed down, dude? Like everything all the way up to like 73 floors.
Nail down, because it's a structured thing. So I would say predictive approach.
Yes. Now the design might be, hey, we're going to design really quick. Is it going to this way, that way? Is it going to have, all that stuff. The designers, the engineers, whatever on the front end might design it, might go iterative in their design. But once it's locked down, the design, like we can predictively say, hey, we need to plan out however, it's going to take 9 or 19 months to build this bridge. We need to order. First of all, I need to know what to order. So all this steel, all this concrete, all this whatever, all these nuts and bolts and washers and blah, 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 and paint. They need to know that at the beginning because they got to go order it. It takes forever to get here. And then they got to get all the crews going and all the permitting and all the other jazz. We have to nail that down at the beginning. And we know what we believe because it's like, we know what it's going to look like. We know how big and whatever. So that's more of a predictive approach. That makes sense for predictive. Whereas the app, who knows, dude? We have an idea, but we're going to learn as we go. So just see the two paths. That's the whole goal. Is that better-ish, Corey?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, sweet. That was just, for everybody, but you're just a person in the corner of the screen. Sweet. So when we think about, how do I share? I'm sharing now. I didn't even know it was. Sweet. I don't know how to draw on this thing. I hate Teams. Sorry, Microsoft. But when we think about this picture, give me a second. I'm gonna take a picture of this picture. Give me a second. Give me a second. There we go. Yeah, I know what you do. I'm gonna take a picture so I can put it on somewhere where I can draw on it. Give me 1 second. So when we see this crazy picture, that's the waterfall picture, I'll just simplify it like as we're just talking about stuff. Then we're going to do some cards and other junk like that. All right. I don't want you to go freak out about this. Okay. I just want you to see big picture understanding. This is predictive. This is bridge, building, aircraft carrier, submarine, big long road, something where we got to know it all. We're basically 5 phases, 1 through 5. They're process groups. It's just aligning us to like a distinct focus. The first one over, as I lost my pen, over here, it's all about, do we really have authorization to do this thing? And who's for us, who's against us, and who's on the team. That's all we're doing there. And the charter, like right up here, we're saying, hey, big boss, high level, it's going to be a bridge that's going to be, well, not this tall. It's going to be a building that's going to be this tall and have this many floors, and this is how much we spend, and we got to be done by this day, and all these other constraints, whatever. We're getting authorization through sponsorship. They're signing a charter for the big boss tying it. It authorizes us to use money and go. Sweet, we're in the game. Then as we go down, we're saying, before we start running, let's just think about who's on our team, who are the stakeholders, who's impacted internally and externally. It could be like the EPA, could be like the city, could be like, community groups. It could be like the vendors that are going to be in our building. It could be like the construction crews. All those are external stakeholders, but stakeholders to us and our team and our business and all that stuff. So who's in our stakeholder network? That's what we're doing there. Now, once we got that down, it kind of creates the opportunity for us to say, now let's go crazy and plan it down. And with the plan and the videos we talk about this, we have an approach to plan, like how we're going to do it. Those are all those like project management plans, schedule management plans. It's like, how are we going to lead this thing? And really, it's like, we go stupid deep in like the scope. That means, what is the building? How tall is it? What is it? How's it constructed? Like break down every nut, bolt, and detail. So we're breaking that down. Then as we're doing that, we're figuring out, oh, for a building this tall in this way and all these stuff, what is the schedule? What does everybody need to do every week? And then how much is going to cost? Those are like, they call the triple constraints, okay? That's like the heart. What are we doing? When are we doing it? And how much it costs? So we're bouncing back and forth. Once we lock those things down, all I need you to see is like this picture is like, yo, big picture, that's what we're knocking down. And we got to talk to a bunch of people, make hard decisions, refine our ideas, but we're locking it down and saying, this is officially what we'll build. We're going to do this. We're not going to do this. Here's what's going to be done. Here's what it's going to cost. And then we got to get the sponsor to sign it again. So the sponsor signs it. They sign the charter, say, yeah, you're authorized to go pursue this. Then we say, hey, we took your ideas. We nailed them down to say, this is exactly what I'm going to give you at the end. And they look at it and go, yeah, no, yeah, okay, I get it, yeah. They sign, yep, I dig that. Please make that happen. And so that's the baseline. There's 3 of them: scope, schedule, cost. That's like the official version. Like it's in stone now. All this other stuff, these other processes support the development of the baselines. Like, let's think about quality. Let's think about our people. Let's think about how we communicate. Let's think about what the risks are that won't take us off their track. Let's think about, do we need to use other people to procure? Let's stakeholders. Sorry, it's all a chicken scratchy, but whatever. Okay. All these things support us developing scope, schedule, cost baselines. That's like the 2-minute version of this. Then once we do that thing, it's off to the races. Bang. It's called executing and monitoring, controlling. These things happen at the same time. Do work, check work. Do work, check work. Do work, check work. As we go through, are people showing up? Did anybody get hurt? Are we spending money too much? Are we spending money not enough? Are we getting things done or not? Are we passing quality inspections? Are we communicating? Are people upset with us? Are they engaging? Are they not? That's all those 2 columns do. Are we going? Is it going like we planned or is it not? The benefit of having like a stupid detailed plan is that we know where we're going, or at least we think we do. And as we go toward it, we can say, we're behind ahead. That's it. And when I say that's it, it doesn't mean like, oh, who cares? That's the beauty of it. We're ahead or we're behind. And then from there, we can make changes through change control, what they call. We can get things checked off. We can modularly, approve stuff. And then as we get to the end, invite somebody out, cut a ribbon. It's their bridge now. Go home. That's like the stupid short version of it. That's it. So if you understand philosophically that approach, we're pretty much 83.25% down the road. Okay? That's it. Just big picture, building a big thing that we got to nail it up front because steel takes a long time to get here. We can only bend it once. If it fails, we all go to jail. That's what we got to do. Okay? Now that was like, I don't know, 8 minutes. Who's super confused? And that's okay, because I'm not that good of a teacher. All right, cool. You tell me if you were confused, right? All right, good. Don't lie to me. Sweet. All right, so let's go through some, we're just going to bounce around. We're doing this a 50-50 game thingy, all right? And we're just going to go through, waterfall definitions. I don't care if you miss them all, okay? I'm going to pick them because I know you're new. I'm going to find one. Hold on. I don't want to. We're going to start at the beginning of a project. Okay. The goal here is just to talk about stuff for a couple minutes. Let's go, Kennard. You tell me top or bottom. Which document helps in identifying and analyzing stakeholders?
Stakeholder register.
Yeah, it's a big, long Excel file, if you will, with all the stakeholders. Is it a one-time you build it, Kennard, or do you continue to build it as it goes or fill it out?
Continue to build it out. Things change, so people change. So
I dig it. And what's a charter, dude?
Something that it's a high level. It's kind of start the whole project in a sense, but it's a high level just to look at, see what we're going to do, how we're going to make the project be successful. So
love it. One more for you. How often should the stakeholder engagement matrix, assessment matrix, be updated? Top or bottom?
Bottom, throughout the life cycle of the stake. Yep.
Love it. So when you talked about stakeholder register, and this is just me talking through concepts and they might go like way over your heads, but you know, you're going to be fine. I'll show you the glossary as you go through the videos. You'll get it. We're just talking. The register's big, long list of all the stakeholders, Joe, Jane, Sally Mae, who knows, whatever. And, you know, where they are, where they work. As we start thinking about all these people, we think about like Joe, the stakeholder. Then we start thinking about their engagement. Are they on board with what we're doing? Are they off board? Do they not care? So like, where are they currently versus where do we optimally need them? If someone's like, could take us or leave us, we're like, dude, that guy's super important. We need him to be like supporting us. So we'll say currently they don't care about us or know about us, but we need them to be a leader for our team project. Then we'd say, all right, there's a difference. Let's come up with a strategy. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to engage them. I'm going to get their buddy to talk to them, whatever it is. And I'm going to communicate monthly, weekly, whatever, to try to get them there. So that's all when they say stakeholder engagement matrix. It's just like, yo, is this person worth talking to? Do they hate us? Is it cool if they hate us, or do I need them to like us? And what's the strategy? That's all it is. Let's go around the room. Stu, what is the leading, this you might not know, but make it up, leading level of stakeholder engagement? Which one, if I said like this dude is like a leading type stakeholder, which one might it be?
First one?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, go more. Go. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, he's actively engaged, so that means that he's definitely paying attention and doing what is required of him.
Yeah. And this one's more like neutral, aware, but is not, but is resistance, but is resistant. No, that would be like resistant. All right. So that's good. All right. As we go, we're just going to go around one time around this. This is the loosen the room up. All right. Stu, one more. This document is used to justify the investment in the project by outlining the benefits, costs, and risk. And it typically includes an analysis of the business need and the expected benefits. So many words. What document is this?
Business case. Perfect.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And like the business case is a lot of times done before the charter to say, seems like a cool idea. Let's see if it flushes out. If it's worth the juice, worth the squeeze, right? Like that kind of stuff. And the charter is how we get authorization. Good job. Let's go. Anthony, which two factors are commonly used in a stakeholder ranking matrix?
Top one, influence and interest.
Yeah, it's not like, how do I buy this guy off? No, it's like, yeah, influence and interest, like what's going on there. That's awesome. Let's go one more. A project milestone is approaching. Milestone's like a deadline, like, hey, Christmas is the 25th. If we miss it, you know, kids are going to be upset. Milestone is approaching. A key stakeholder with moderate influence and high interest has not been updated recently. Okay. What should the project manager's course of action be?
Bottom, proactively reach out to the stakeholder to provide updates and gather feedback. You want to take advantage of their moderate influence and their high interest and continue to keep that interest.
Love it. And like questions, as good job. The reason why we have this one in here is like, we want that proactive nature in the way we pursue people. They're like, hey, you know, sleeping dog, let them lay. Nah. In these projects, in these questions, we want to be, hey, what can we do to get out there as a servant leader to make sure people are communicated in the right way at the right time in the way that they like, okay? And then we want to keep everybody involved. The way to think through if you're lost between two answers is which one brings people or our client closer to us and closer to the decision making. Like, we're not going to operate in a silo scared. We're going to like, hey man, let's figure this out together. That's the way we kind of can break the log jam sometimes. Let's go one more, Anthony. Which statement best describes the business case?
Top one, a document that outlines the project scope, schedule, and budget.
Cool. Kind of, but not totally. This is good. We missed one. Yay. Like, how about what? So what's the difference between A and B, or the top and bottom?
I guess my rationale for that is I kind of was assuming the difference between the business case and the project charter. And so
yeah.
I guess like I would assumed the document that explaining the rationale for undertaking a project would have been the project charter, but I'm wrong.
No, I mean, you're well, kind of, but not really. Like, so like, yes, on the charter, it does have the rationale, but it kind of like document that explains the rationale to undertaking the project. It's more like the business case has a deeper analysis of it. And so it might tell more about the project, and they might say like, show me like why it's worth it, why we're doing this, and those kind of things. That's more of the business case. Outlines the project scope, schedule, and budget. From a high level, that might be more of the charter. There's more on the charter: risks, stakeholders, milestones, assumptions, key requirements, stuff like that. But like, who's responsible for what? But it does lay out what are we doing and not doing on the charter. We need to be high level schedule. We need to be done by XYZ or whatever. And then the budget, you have $1 million, billion, jillion dollars or whatever. So that's more chartery than this one. The business case, which just says like,
I was thinking when you were going over like the planning, the high level planning document of the waterfall, that's what I kind of thought of was that scope, schedule, budget. Am I incorrect in that assumption?
Well, it's like, no, you're not. It's like, so in the planning process group, it's basically we take the initial project scope and schedule, scope and budget, and we go deeper, like stupid deep. So we have to have like a starting point to go dumb deep, if you will.
Okay.
To go like very specific. Like I might say, hey guys, I want to build a new site. I want to do it by the end of next year. And I want to do it for less than $100,000 or whatever. Okay. And they're like, what's going to be in it? Well, I want it to be able to do X, Y, Z, whatever. And they're like, cool. Now, if we were doing that in a waterfall sense, they would take that and then they would flush it out to say, all right, here's exactly what we're doing and exactly how much we expect it to cost and exactly when it's going to be done. And I'd be like, all right, cool. Bing, bang, boom. I'd probably run it in Agile, but yeah. All right, Corey. Bring us home. A stakeholder ranking matrix helps the project manager to do what?
Would be the lower one.
Yeah. Which stakeholders need the most attention and communication? That's what we're trying to do. A lot of these things in there, like whether it's stakeholders, risks, requirements, the method that we're doing is like bring in all the ideas, sort them, and then put your focus on the top stuff. I mean, that's kind of like life, like prioritize. Same thing with stakeholders. One more. Stakeholder questions the economic viability of the project. How should this be handled?
I do know often they like the answer that uses the term face-to-face.
I don't know who they is.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, I dig it. Yeah. They do maybe. What do you like? Which answer do you like? But you're right, face-to-face is good.
Maybe actually don't involve the project sponsor yet. We can go with A.
Oh, yeah. Why? That's correct. Why would it not be a stakeholder questions? I don't know if that means like just, hey, get me up to speed or like very aggressively questions. I don't know which one it is. It's just a word right now. But you're right. Why not get the sponsor involved, ma'am?
I think it could be a bit early. You can kind of assess more of their questions. And if it does need to move to such a point, it can, but it might not be necessary.
That's 100% right. So like the face-to-face meeting is good, but if we just go, oh, face-to-face, you didn't do this, okay? But if we just said face-to-face meeting, bang, what they want behind the curtain, no curtain, okay? Then we would choose the wrong one. You did more in-depth thinking, which is fantastic, where you go like, well, I don't need to get the big boss involved. I can handle this. And so like the other thing is like economic viability. That's a relatively specific query that they have. Review the feasibility study. It's like economic viability. Can we do it? The feasibility study is like, yeah, we can accomplish this for this money at this time in this way. Cool. We can pull it off. We could show it to them. And then it says with the stakeholder. It doesn't say like, we don't know how, but like in cahoots with them, which is a good thing, and address their concerns. Hopefully. Yeah. But I like your angle on that. So that's Cooper good. So it's like, as you guys are learning, like we're going to tell you to use the 50-50 thing. It's a good thing to kind of go back to like freshen the mind. And it's broken down like overall definitions, initiating, planning, whatever that junk as you go, and then Agile the same way. Yeah, that's it. I got to bounce over to the coach's side to get the questions for the day. Sweet. You guys are doing great. Come on, machine. There we go. All right, here we go. Where's my noon call? Bang, bang, bang. We'll just do fundamental questions. Start new attempt. Yes. All right, here we go. So if you've never done this before, pretty easy, dude. We built this new fancy pants. Those are the answers. Don't look at them. Bring that over here. You can answer with your phone. If you've never logged in with your phone, it'll take a second, or you just have to log in. Scan that little QR code, like take a picture thingy, or use the link that I put in the chat, wherever the chat is. Okay? And that'll let me see like what you answer as you go through it. All is good. There you go. And I'll be able to see you pop in as we go. Cool, cool, cool. See if you can get in there. And always got the computer boys. There we go. Alex is in. Boys in the back are always ready to jump. So.
Okay, I've been brought to my just general PMP course. I don't have this specific question set.
Do it again.
Okay.
Just sometimes it like logs you in and then do it. If not, whatever. Just so try to scan it again. See if it does it.
Yep, I did it. Thanks.
All right, sweet. Yeah, just had to get you in and then get you in. All right, sweet. All right, here we go. Let's go. We got everybody go. We'll go Anthony first. Last sentence first, then go for it, sir. Out loud, please.
What should you do to address the situation?
Yep.
You are managing a traditional waterfall project, and during a scheduled status meeting, one of your senior team members voices concerns about the current project approach outlined in the project management plan. This is the first time the concern has been raised, and you are in the middle of executing a critical phase of the project.
What should you do? So we'll highlight the last thing. What should you do being the project manager in this situation? Go back to the top and tell me what to highlight. I'll highlight anything you want me to highlight. What matters, dude?
So it's a traditional waterfall project. So we've done a lot of planning.
Love it.
We are currently in the executing phase,
Mm-hmm.
which is at the end.
Yeah. Sorry. Currently in the middle of the executing phase, yeah.
And then one of your senior team members has a concern. So concerned about the project management plan. So
yeah.
And they have never brought it up before. So I know we're highlighting pretty much half the question, but hey.
I got highlighter for days, dude. We are rich in highlighter, bro. Just electrons, apparently. So sweet. All right. So waterfall project, you said we ton of the planning way up front. What kind of meeting are we in right now? I think Anthony might have locked up, or either he's like deep in thought. Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Gotcha.
Got me?
We're in a, yeah, I got you.
It's a scheduled status meeting. So I'm assuming what that means is that it is just a quick meeting telling people where everybody are on the project in execution.
Yep, 100%. Yep. And then somebody says like, hey, man, one of your senior stakeholders or team members, is like, hey, I don't like our approach of like the project management plan. Like, so first time they talked about it, what are you doing in the meeting? If they're like, hey, I want to talk about this. It's the first time, whatever, what would you do? The answers are blurred.
I feel like
don't
in
worry.
The status, yeah, that's all right.
Yep.
I feel like in the status meeting, it may not necessarily be the most applicable place to discuss, but I feel like I would acknowledge and validate how they feel and potentially meet with them separately to talk through some of those concerns and identify a path forward.
Have you seen this question before, dude?
No.
Okay, sweet. Hold on to that. Corey, you had your hand up. What up?
I was just going to volunteer to do it in case his computer kicked him off.
Oh, look at that. Right off the bat. Hold on. We'll get you. So good. All right, Anthony, back to you. Hey. You're on mute. Read out loud and tell me if you like it or not.
Okay, all right,
The key
well,
thing on all these, just for everybody help, everybody, this is how normal people do, not you guys. They'll like read it and like, yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna look at the other ones. Don't do that. Just say I like it or dislike it because, and then just make up a reason why you like it or dislike it. So go ahead.
Sounds good. So
Hey.
document the concern in the risk register and continue with the rest of the meeting as planned. I think that it seems like a pretty good idea. That might be an answer. B,
Is that
pause the
is
meeting.
that better or worse than what you came up with as an answer?
I personally would prefer the answer that I responded to.
Right. So like we'll keep it because it's
Yep.
like, okay, that's medium, but like we'll put like a little silently sad face, but not totally sad. How about B?
Yeah. B, pause the meeting immediately, review the project management plan with the full team and address the concern in detail. Obviously that would be tackling the problem immediately. However, I think that that's a scheduled status meeting is not the place for that. And it's probably not the best time to do it. So I would say not to choose that.
Awesome. I get to cross it out. Super duper. Keep going.
C, remind the team about meeting protocols and ask if the group prefers to spend time discussing the concern in this session. I don't think that that's kind of appropriate. And I think that if you're the project manager, it's your responsibility to manage the team and the meeting. And so I don't like that question either.
Sweet.
And then letter D, acknowledge the concern, proceed with the meeting agenda and schedule a private follow up with the team member to gather more information. I mean, that's literally what I said, and I'm going to stick to it. I think I think acknowledging the concern and recognizing it, and then allowing the meeting to continue to allow everybody else who's present in the meeting to say their updates and get any sort of concerns or issues out of the way there. And then working in a private manner allows you to have a better conversation about what their concerns are, and then identifying a path forward. So I'm going to stick with D.
Dude, dead on right. It was exactly what you said initially. That's why we want you to think what you think, because you're like, does the answer offered match the standard that you set in your head? Once you start doing that, then you become like the king of the castle or whatever, and you start evaluating yourself. And then the other thing that kind of brings, Corey, your thoughts in here about they like one-on-ones. They like one-on-ones when it's like conflict or it's like deeper dives or something like that, where a one-on-one is advantageous. If it's like, hey, let's collaborate on a solution, obviously I think you said face-to-face, not one-to-one, I apologize. But like, same kind of concept. We want, come together as a solution to talk through something, but this is there. This is awesome. Cool. Good job. Corey, all you.
Okay, we'll read the end first. So how should the project manager handle this situation? Then the question is, a new team member has been assigned to replace a departing resource on a small project that is essential for meeting a major program milestone. However, there are concerns about the new resource's attitude, as rumors suggest that they have previously struggled with teamwork and cooperation. Again, how should the project manager handle this situation? So maybe some important bits here is that you're on a small project, but that project itself is essential for meeting a major program milestone. So maybe we can highlight major program milestone.
Cool.
We can also maybe highlight new team member.
I like that.
And then I would also just highlight the word rumors. Okay.
Yeah.
So where I think this is going to, if I could guess the answer, is it is only ultimately a rumor. So maybe don't go too drastic with what you do. So maybe whatever the answer is, it's not the most drastic, like don't just fire them.
That's a good place to
you
start.
could maybe just have a discussion about what the expectations are generally regarding teamwork and cooperation.
That seems pretty good. And like, obviously, I know you got glasses on, but you can't see through these blurs, right?
No, it's like this.
I know. I'm making terrible jokes.
Okay.
Sweet. How about A?
Okay, so evaluate the new team members' interpersonal skills by observing their behavior in the teaming's interactions. Maybe, but it's not my favorite because that's just observing. It's possible you could just discuss.
Love it.
Next option, request that a project management office PMO assign a more, I think that's way too drastic, so I would cross that out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, C, assign the new resource low risk tasks while monitoring the behavior to see if the concerns impact the project. Again, that's kind of just like monitoring again. I think there's probably something here that's more like a conversation instead. Okay, yeah, D, meet with the new resource to discuss their approach to teamwork and collaboration and determine how they can best fit. I feel like it would be D.
Well, yeah, that's good. Kennard, what do you think, dude?
Yeah, I think it's D as well. You need to meet with them and get a feel and what their approach is when it comes to the team environment. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super good. Yeah, and I love the fact that like y'all are coming up with like your own approaches, and you're all super new in the system. So we're giving you ones that are just like what your gut is, how you would handle people, right? How you would handle challenging scenarios. And are you reactive? Are you kind of more of a servant leader? Are you helping them? You're not being like walked on. You're handling it in a judicious way, which is awesome. And what I also liked about what you did, Corey, is like sometimes when people get like two cross-offs, they like start hedging their bets when they get to C. You're like, no, C's no good. We're gonna go to D. And then like, if it's there, if it wasn't great, then you would have gone, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go A. But if D was like the worst thing since whatever. But great job like sticking to your guts and your guns. That's awesome. All right, Kennard, good job. Take your turn. Or good job, Corey. Everybody, good job. Keep going.
what document is the project manager working on? A
Mhm.
project manager has spent the past few weeks engaging with key stakeholders to gather insight about various critical components of the project to be considered. This discussion has forced and evaluated high level scope, timeline risks, and budget. What document is the project manager working on? Let's see. Gather insight, highlight gather insight,
Mm-hmm.
critical components,
Mm-hmm.
high level scope.
Mm-hmm.
See.
So
For
you
me,
get timeline, risk, budget, all that
and
junk.
budget, yeah.
So, yeah.
When I see high level, I'm thinking Project Charter.
All right, I dig it. Yeah. I think that's a good way. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're having discussion about the scope and everything, timeline and risks and things of that nature. So I think you have the discussions up front. It could be a business case as well too. So but I think I'm gonna lead to the Project Charter.
Right, and like you spend a week engaging key stakeholders. So it's not like we're going out there kind of feeling the environment, bringing them in, all that stuff. I love where you're coming from. How about A?
Develop Project Charter.
I mean, if you said it, it sounds pretty good. So like, we'll put a little smiley face there.
I'll keep
Yeah.
that. Create the project management plan.
What's the difference between the charter and the project management plan?
I think the project management plan tells you like the overall project, like
Okay.
how are you going to deal with situations with throughout the overall project. I think.
Yeah, that key word that you just talked about, how. So the anything that's like something management plan, it'll be like scope management plan, schedule management plan, quality management plan, project management plan. It's like this basically can be replaced by the word how we're going to deal with the overall project. What's the approach by which we're going to lead it? Because like if you think about a longer project, like when are we going to meet? How are we going to store documents? How are we going to handle change? Who are we going to do what? Like all these different things, like the approach by which we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. Same thing with like schedule. How are we going to manage our schedule? How are we going to update our schedule? How are we going to know if we're off or on? Stuff like that. There's like, rules of the road type stuff for leading a project that the project management plans do. The project management plan is like the mother of all plans. How are we going to lead this complicated endeavor from beginning to end? So I don't think that's what this one. How about C?
Prepare the scope management plan.
Or scope statement, it says?
Yes. Sorry. Scope statement. I don't think so. To me, is that high level sticking out? The high level
right. Scope statement's a little bit more in depth, right?
In depth, yeah.
It's like a written version of the scope. I get chilly over here, bro. Look like I got the mountains behind me. That's what makes you chilly, apparently. So, like, yeah, it's a detailed version of the scope that we do in as part of the baseline, scope baseline in planning. So gone it is. I'm getting too involved. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then document the risk management plan. I don't think we're there yet. Once again, that's the overall how you deal with the risk throughout the whole entire project.
There, dude, we're getting there, bro. So therefore, A. Yeah. Corey, you were on C for a little bit. Talk me through it. Might just been like fingers, but like who knows? Talk me through it.
Oh yeah, I was crossing and uncrossing things off, but
nice.
I think when I read the term scope statement, that seems like something more specific and smaller than the charter as a whole, which is higher level.
That is exactly correct. The scope statement, there's three things that are in the like the scope baseline. So first of all, yay, we got it right. Then the scope statement we'll learn in planning is made of three things. Like this, the scope baseline. So scope baseline is made of three things. Anybody know what the three things are? One of them is a scope statement. Got that one. And the way to think about the scope statement is like, okay, so we've talked to all our stakeholders, big boss, et cetera, whatever, all these requirements. Everybody wants to do everything and wants to do it like tomorrow. Can't do that, dude. So we got to like shimmy it down. Then we say, all right, we will do this. We won't do that. Cool. The first version is like a written version. So like a written version, paragraph, page, couple pages. It's like a written version for like people that like to read. Okay. And so that nails down what we will do, what we won't do, any kind of like, caveats or, milestones, key things, whatever, constraints in there. So it's like written. Then we do this thing called the WBS, and that's the visual version. And that looks like, hey, we're going to build a building. And then here's one component of the building. Here's another component of the building. Here's another component. It's a small building. And then we break each one down deeper, deeper, deeper. So it kind of looks like a Christmas tree or an org chart down to like what we will build from like the building to like first floor. Then within the first floor, there's going to be like a bathroom, a conference room, or whatever room, a hallway, who knows what. And then underneath that, like in the kitchen in the first floor, it's going to have like a sink, a refrigerator, a floor, a roof, or who knows what's in a kitchen. And then boom, all those components. So we can start saying we will or will not have it. Will we have like, a dishwasher in there? Nah, we're not going to do the dishwasher. Like, or whatever. And then we get down to the bottom level. It's called a work package. So we can start planning around that. Okay. Then the other thing is called a WBS dictionary. You'll learn all about this. And basically it takes each one of these like work packages, these scope thingies that we're going to deliver, like, hey, install the kitchen sink. Okay, cool. Then it's like all the particulars and requirements around that, like dictionary. It just gives you all the granular details. So this is like a super detailed breakdown of everything we're doing. This is the visual version, and this is the written version. So the scope baseline like gets us covered from all angles, bro. Written, visual, and stupid details. From that, nobody has ambiguity about what we're doing, why we're doing it. And then from there, we can break down how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost. That's the game. Y'all are doing good. All right, here's a matchy one. Here's how matchy ones work, all right? There will be a couple on the test. Who's got this one? I think it's Stu. All right, we're just going to read the question, and then I'll talk to you about how you solve it. So I'll read it. Match the documents on the left with the values they provide on the right. All right, Stu. So here's how normal people do it. And you ain't normal, and I ain't normal. Like they read it here, then they go and read this one, then they read this one, then they read this one, then they read this one, and then they read this one. And then they pick one. Sweet. And then they read this one, 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 and then they read this one. And then they pick one. And then they read, so I don't have to keep doing it. They read this one, this one, this one, then they pick one. And over and over and over. So they're reading a lot. Reading ain't fun. I don't like doing it. I don't want you to do it. All right. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to flip it. We're going to look at these like, yeah, okay, I see documents. Cool, I got it. Then you're just going to pick this one and you're going to sit on it. You're just going to be like, yo, I'll read that. And then instead of reading everything a billion times, you just go this way. So you go lots of words to little words. Just pick one. So Lord willing, we only need to read that one once. Okay? Y'all are already going, I can see. But, and I know you're jumping around. So, whatever. So go ahead, Stu, first one. Outlines.
Outlines how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled, serving as comprehensive how-to guide.
Yep.
So move from that to whatever the possible answer for that one is. Outline.
Yeah.
Project will be outlined. Project will be executed. Yeah. So I would say number 5. First one.
Number 5, the project management plan. Yeah. How it will be executed. Yeah. How to guide. Yeah. 1 for 1, dude. Great job. Kyoto B.
Formally authorize a project, provides a high-level overview, and grants a project manager authority to use resources. That's, I would say, B to 3.
B to 3, the charter, right? Formally authorizes the project. That keyword high level grants project manager authority. All those things, it's charter all day long. Good job. 2 for 2. Go to third one.
Details how and when the project benefits will be delivered and sustained, ensuring that the intended value is realized. Oh, that's 2. I said C to 2.
Yeah, benefits management plan. How and another how one, management plan, how the benefits will be delivered. Basically, that's saying like, I know you say you're going to give us $100,000 and whatever as for benefit. When am I getting? How are you tracking it? Make sure that you're, ducks in a row there. How about D?
Defines a project justification, including the business need, costs, benefits, analysis, and alignment with strategic goals. I would say 1. Yeah, business case.
Yeah, business case, right? We talked about that to say it's kind of like those 3 documents, like the charter, the benefits management plan, and the business case, all kind of go together. These 2 support the charter. So if it's like, hey, we're going to make $1 billion, we're going to do it before Christmas. Cool. Show me that it actually makes sense. Show me how you're going to get the money. That makes the charter signing a lot easier. Okay, how about D, the last one, E?
Stakeholder register.
Yeah, got it. It identifies and analyzes the individuals and groups that are impacted by the project, facilitating effective engagement and communication. So like dead on. Those are like all the documents pretty much that you might do at the beginning of the project. You might also do like a feasibility study. You might have an assumptions log. That's like, what do we believe that need to prove as we go? Feasibilities, can we do it? And that proves it. But those are the big ones. And now you learn like, go from like the lot of letters to the smaller one. And that helps you like save time on matching questions. So good job. Good job, good job, good job. All right, let's do a couple more. All right, back to the top. I can't remember who started. I think it was Anthony. Go for it, dude.
What should the project manager do in response to this new information? Shortly after the project charter is completed and signed by the sponsor, the project team learns of a new compliance requirement from an international governing body that could impact the project's baseline business case. So we're the project manager. We're asking what we need to do with this new information. So the project charter has already been completed and signed.
Oh.
There's a new compliance requirement.
Yeah.
That will impact the business case.
Will?
That could impact the business case. Yep.
Does that matter, or am I just being persnickety?
No, I think that does matter. Because it means that we don't know what the impact is. So we would have to research, analyze, or reevaluate our business case.
There we go. So that's kind of the approach, like look into it, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, I can dig it. How about A?
Incorporate the compliance requirement by developing a quality management plan. I think that would help, but if we do not take into effect the new compliance, it may affect how we're executing the plan itself, that it may not necessarily meet the quality management plan. So I don't think that that's the best plan, best answer.
Right. And just incorporating it doesn't help us understand the total impact. It might blow it up, and we might assume negativity, like new compliance requirement obviously probably is more cost, regulations, all that junk. But how about B?
Ignore the requirements as it was not part of the original defined project scope. No, if it's going to impact the project's final results, we need to think about it.
I dig it.
C, document the new requirement in the risk register and seek further input from key stakeholders. I think that sounds pretty good, that this could potentially be a risk for the entire project, or particularly our business case. I'd be open to that one. And then D, investigate the requirement and its potential impacts, then provide a recommendation to the project sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel good about that one. I don't know too much about the risk register yet.
But
that's cool.
If you had to pick one, B, C, or D. Did you pick D or C, or which one did you pick? I apologize.
I would, I think I would choose D just because it's important to let the project sponsor know because they signed off on a charter that had different understandings of the governing and the compliance requirements. And so it may impact the charter itself.
Dude, that's really, really good. That's awesome, man. Yeah, as we go in there, boom. It's like this affects when we go to the sponsor is in things that really are worthy of sponsor attention. It's like, hey, man, you just signed off on this and you thought that we're going to be done here and make this much money. Due to the fact that like some dudes in France said something or whatever, I don't know, Belgium. It's like, now it's not going to do it. We looked into it. We have a suggestion. We're getting them apprised of the scenario. They're helping them make a better decision. Maybe they cancel the project. Maybe they modify the project. Maybe it keeps rolling. Who knows? But we want them to be informed and not surprised. So we're doing our due diligence, getting them involved in the proper sense. So good job. And
I know that we're going to dive into it during the actual course itself, but why would it not be C?
Oh yeah. Give me 1 second. Why would not document Corey, take it. Why would you not document the requirement to register and seek further input from stakeholders as in relation to D? Why is C subpart of D?
I can give you my best guess, as I also haven't learned about the risk register.
Understood. Yeah.
The difference between C and D is that investigate is no part of C while it is part of D. So I think that documenting and investigating are different things. And I think as a project manager, it could fall on you to investigate and look into something rather than simply documenting it and leaving investigation in someone else's hands.
And the thing that threw me off for C was when it says seek input for the key stakeholders. It's not the stakeholders, the sponsor.
That might not be their job.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I was saying. That would threw me off. I'm like, nah, forget about C. We need to go to the sponsor.
Yeah, I do think it's a major risk. So I think it's like, this is one of those ones that's like, that's not a bad idea, but is it as good as this one? So when we say like, it's not the right answer, it's not the best answer here. So like, I dig everything that you guys just said. Like, it's 100% true. Like, document, I think, is a good thing. Seeking further input from stakeholders is a good thing. But like, it's kind of, if it only was that, it'd be like the thing that you said, Anthony. It's like, yo, we didn't evaluate it. We didn't come up to a relative conclusion. We didn't involve the big boss. We didn't, bring it all together because it does need their attention. Even if it's like, yo, we looked into it and it's not that big of a deal and we could go over there. We don't want them in their ear to go like, hey, I heard about this thing that's Belgium changed all the rules for like soda bottle tops. Like, yo, are we in trouble? And it's like, nah, dude, we looked into it. So we want to keep them abreast of the situation, good or bad. So when it comes to it, C's okay, but incomplete. D is more complete. And that's also the thing. So, okay, sometimes there will be a pick 2 question, like pick 2. The way to think about that, there's a couple different pick 2 kind of options. One is there's 2 problems in the question, and each answer serves to address those problems. In this one, it would be, if it was like 5 answers in pick 2, it would be that, hey, document the new requirement in the risk register, seek whatever, and then the other one would be complementary. It'd be like series-based or complementary. If I were to just have a question that were like that. So when you see Matt pick two, whatever it's called, it's either 2 separate problems or they're complementary. Okay. And so this one, yeah, that's the reason why. Does that make sense, dude? Yeah. Cool. Y'all have done like so good for being like inches into the course. I'd say you're miles into your understanding. Okay. So like, here's the way it works. It's like that Dunning-Kruger curve or whatever, Freddy Krueger's brother. It's like, we go up there and like, we learn a lot and our confidence goes to the moon. And then inevitably we go down to the dips. And so you guys are on this one. Just don't get too like, go to Icarus to the stars. Cause like eventually you end up thinking like, oh, I'm not smart. That's not true. It's just a natural progression. And so what we want to do is kind of like realize that there's going to be ups and downs as we learn. Because it's like you open doors, you learn new stuff, you think you got it all. Then it's like, oh gosh, I crash. Then you go back. So just realize there's to be like, heartbeats up and down as we go. but y'all have a really good sound foundation. You know how to solve questions, you know how to do the matching things. We just talked about the multi-choicey stuff. You're really doing good highlighting junk. And you just realize, let me pull up here. This is the coach side, but over here, if you're watching the course and you're a little like unsure, we do have like a glossary that you're like, dude, what's a risk register? It's down here. It should be down here. I hope it's down here. Yeah, I just should have typed it in. Risk register, bam. Then there's like usually a video and a write-up. You can add it to your favors if you want to do it later. There's also a video library where you could type in, yo, I don't know what a Pareto chart is, bro. Like, I never heard of that, dude. And then like, boom, Pareto diagram, Pareto chart, short little videos, bang. You can go in there and watch them. And then we got our own little YouTube-y thing going where it's me and then it's like all the different relators. So just like YouTube, you can go on a journey, but just you're doing it strategic, okay? Eventually, my boys on the backlog are building like a YouTube Shorts version of the course for like, I guess, me and the ADH folk to like go through and do like rapid implement whatever. You can learn fast. So as you're learning, make a vanishing data dump. We're also digitizing that. That's on the backlog in a couple of weeks. But yeah, take your things, learn, just go dive in and then bring them to your coaches and me, pretty much your coach, and we'll knock it out. You're going to kill it. We're almost done pretty much, kind of. All right. All right. See you next week. Talk to you later. Keep going. Adios. See ya.
Bye, thanks.
Bye, Sickles. Bye-bye.
Hey, Scott, question.